Hey, do you feel like it's a lot of work, a lot of effort to approach women, to attract women, that it's just this thing that you don't look forward to and it's difficult, and maybe you're doing it online too. You got to send a lot of messages and do all this work. I know how it goes, right? With all the online dating apps and everything. Well, I'm going to talk about the number one way today to more effortlessly attract women. Hey guys, it's David with Core Confidence today talking about the number one way to more effortlessly attract women. Now, this is in my years of experience of, being in and out of the dating scene depending where I was at, but, really experienced with it. And some of you are going to like this, some of you are going to hate it, but it's the truth, okay? It's really, really true. I'm going to tell you exactly why. So the number one way, quite simply, to more effortlessly attract women here, right, is to be more social, okay? Be more social. With a caveat is just you need to be social enough. And the reason I'm saying that is I know most of you are shy, probably shy or introverts like me. And now I consider myself a social introvert, which means when people hear that I'm an introvert, they're like, no way, you're really social. Because they don't understand how introversion and extroversion works. Introversion is how we recharge our energy alone. Extroversions recharge energy around people. And shy people tend to be introverts, right? More naturally, it just goes together. However, a huge amount of my experience comes from overcoming my own shyness and social anxiety, and in working with people on that as well. That you can learn to become a social introvert. And that's why I say you need to be social enough, because how an introvert does social is very different than how an extrovert does social in my experience. Even though people may not be able to tell so much, right? And sometimes you can't tell. But the way I always see an introvert or extrovert is they're going to be loud and gregarious and really energetic, right? Which isn't always true, actually. That's not necessarily true about an extrovert. But that's the picture we tend to have in our mind as introverts. And as introverts, I'm introverted and shy in this. But a social introvert is one who's really chill, really relaxed, and relates to people, connects with people easily, kind of flows through the crowd, right? And the reason I'm saying this is because we're leveraging a key principle of human psychology and persuasion, which comes from Robert Cialdini, and it's social proof, okay? And as soon as you are talking to people notice in the bar, but especially women, and even if it's not consciously, it's subconscious when you start talking to people in general, right? Not only that, when you start talking to women, and they don't even have to be hot women, it attracts as well. Does it help if they're hot? Sure. But in my experience, it doesn't matter. I could be talking to any kinds of women and women will notice. Hot women will notice. Attractive women. Women I'm attracted to will notice, okay? So here's the thing, is if you come in and only stick with your group, this doesn't work. But if they see you talking to other groups, whole different story, right? And I call it leveraging your group, so whoever you're with. And you can do this completely on your own, by the way. I've done this completely on my own, going out to bars and lounges, right? I'm not a club guy. Clubs are difficult for an introvert. Bars and lounges are totally fine for an introvert if you're into that. And being social is not limited to bars and lounges. It's communities and events and charity. There's all kinds of stuff you can find where people are getting together, right? And I will say, though, when you find the right bars and lounges, one of the things is you'll have access to hotter and more attractive women that you may or may not get in certain communities, right? There are communities out there that you will, but there are some that you won't. So it doesn't mean, if you go into a room, you're like, David, well, there's no attractive women there I find attractive. Well, duh, like you're in the wrong place, right? But again, it's hugely powerful. It's so simple, but often as guys, I want to know exactly what to do and say how to get that one girl who's, as one of my former mentors said, she's in the shark cage and there's great white sharks around her and I want to get her out. And I want her to like me and that. And I want her to, it's like, as difficult as possible. There's no reason to make this difficult. Not only the fact that you meet people will give you access to new networks, okay? Hugely important. It's the way I do it. It's the way I look at it. It's the way I help guys. So I'm not against, and by the way, I do online stuff, right? I do online dating currently. And it's fine to do it. And see, having these skills will only add to online dating. It'll only make you more confident knowing that you're going on a date with a chick you met from, an app or online, Tinder, Bumble, whatever, that you're you'll come in going, I could go talk to the girl over there if this doesn't work out. Or I could talk to these group of people. And you know what I mean? Like, so, and the reason I say being social enough, right? I said be more social with the caveat of be social enough is you don't have to talk a lot. In fact, the less you talk, the more people can like you if you listen properly and ask the right questions. And what I find as an introvert is if I'm really tensed up and say, okay, I got to go talk to all these people, it really stifles my energy. But if I focus on relaxing and really like being open, I can be really chill and really social. I did it the other night. And then people start talking to me and I'm just like, hey, what's up? And I'm warm, I'm friendly, but I'm not in my head, and I'm in my head now trying to think about it. I'm not trying to push myself, which drops my energy. I actually get more energy by relaxing and being chill. Very interesting thing. That's a hot tip for you, if you will, and being more social. And then, of course, you need to be able to talk to attractive women. That's a separate fear that I've experienced when I at first learned to be more social. It's like, okay, I learned to be more social. And then, but I avoid those hot women, the women I'm attracted to, and even if they're looking at me and giving me eye contact, right, I wouldn't believe it. That's a separate subset of the fear, of the anxiety that can happen. That has to be handled. But if you don't have that issue, then great, you can just start being more social and using this right away. And of course, you want to go to places where there are women, the kinds of women you find attractive. And look, society has certain particular standards of beauty. They don't matter. All that matters is your standards, what you find attractive, truly, physically, character-wise, whatever. And yeah, there are a lot of things in society standards that the women are hot, but there's a lot more to it than that, right? So it's different for different guys, right? To say only the hottest women go to this club isn't true for every guy, even though I would probably agree there's a lot of hot women that go there, but then who are they like as a person in their character? Because as you know, or maybe you don't, sometimes the better looking women are the worst in bed. It's just true. And the less good looking women can blow your mind for whatever reason. I'll get into that in another video probably. So again, the more effortless way to attract women is to be more social and be just social enough. You don't have to talk your head off. You don't have to be super witty and super funny, although some wit and charm and funniness helps, humor. You got to be more social and just social enough, connecting with more people. That's it. Okay? So I hope that helps. And until next video, we're done.